Hi, welcome to Paint with Brian. I'm Brian, and today we're painting
a simple sky. I'm using my 1-inch gold Taklon brush from Plaid and the FolkArt matte paints in True Blue and Wicker White. On a 16 by 20 inch canvas with my 1-inch gold Taklon brush, a paper plate, and skip into the white 1, 2, 3 times. Get it mixed up really good. I want to mix the darkest value of my blue sky. So I scoop up the True Blue and spin it up in the Wicker White. I want to make enough paint that we can cover the upper 1/4 part of the canvas. I add water from my water cup and spin it up to thin it down a bit. Check the opacity and the color and value looks good. If you can see through it, add more paint, and if it's too thick and gloppy, add more water. I'm holding back on the brush and I'm staying tight. I'm not jumping all over the canvas. We're getting ready to do some wet on wet blending, and I need to cover every inch from the top down. I want to keep the lower edge of this blue line organic, natural, not a straight line. Up and down. I always tell students to think of the shape of continents. It's not a straight edge. It's an organic form. That way if something shows up in the painting, it doesn't show up as a straight line. I dip into the white and blend at the edge of the blue line. Straight white, blending side to side, moving my arm, not so much my wrist, on this larger 16 by 20 canvas. There's still blue in the brush, and I don't need to clean it out in between. I want that in there. I can brush up into the blue as long as it's wet, and that's why it's called wet and wet blending. The more you blend, the softer it gets. So if you like a more contrasting or structured look, blend less. But in any case, do not be too thick. It never goes well with acrylic painting. I work with opacity, solid color, and not like a watercolor, not translucent, but I definitely don't want it to be too thick. Using a cross-hatching pattern there, pushing out the rest of the blue in my brush. And as long as this stays wet, we can work with it and enter colors in contrast. We're only working with the blue and the white, so I'm almost halfway down, and I've stayed tight. So every inch of this upper half is colored with the FolkArt paint. It's covering. The True Blue makes an excellent sky color, and when we add the white to it, it gives lighter values. Typically, and always, the sky is darker above and lighter as we go towards the horizon. Here I'm entering some more contrasting white patches, and I blend them out at a low angle, moving my arm. I want to create the least amount of friction possible. That's how it covers. I can only do this while the surface is wet. Once it's dry, you can't come in like this. With the white, you would have to value match the color and finesse it. I'm staying tight, working all the way down. That way I get an additional layer on the paint that is pre-gessoed or primed onto the canvas. Side to side, at an angle, cross-hatching, everything organic. This makes an excellent background for a static object like a flower, a tree, even a vase with flowers. I like to use this instead of just a solid color, for example, for a fleur-de-lis or any single item that you want to put on the canvas as a main subject or highlight.
I hope you enjoyed our painting today. Please like and subscribe, especially if you have questions. This is Brian. Thanks for watching, and as always, I encourage you to have fun with paint.